What's up, Low Lives? It's your boy Rhino. Joined with my pal, my brother, Eldana.
Brother.
I saw
What's up, dude?
Maddie he keeps on posting these videos like 11 million hits, like 50 million hits, and it's his fucking voice.
And he hasn't made a fucking single red cent off that either.
Dude,
Unreal.
it's gonna be sampled in like a new fucking Kanye song or some shit. Like that's so fucked up. It's just like it's his voice. He doesn't get any money.
Every time I see someone that has done his that sound or whatever, the audio from it, I always put at Chopper Fisher did it better. And usually the content creator actually responds. Like, yeah, where do you think I got the idea? And it's like, well, fucking credit his ass.
Yeah, dude. Well, nowadays it's just
today.
like, where the fuck did he even record that, and where did it go, and how did people get it?
Yeah, I know. Yeah, it was just he was making fun of a silly bike that he saw that had a bunch of skulls on it, and it's like the hot audio.
But like, what did he do? He made a reel or something? People like took the audio from it or something?
Yep. Yeah, you can steal the audio from shit.
Maybe we'll steal it, and that'll be our new intro. Our new intro music.
That would be fucking funny.
Oh, dude, we'll make an intro song, we'll copyright it, and then we'll start making money off of Maddie. If anybody uses it, they have to pay me 1 cent for every fucking stream or whatever.
Yeah.
How much is 11 million pennies?
I don't know, but I'll take it.
All right, guys. I have some sad news. You already know this if you're on Instagram, but if you're one of the weird people that can't even stomach Instagram, I wish I could, you know what I mean? But like, how do you stay plugged in? How do you look at cool bikes? Like, there's not like a bunch of chopper magazines and shit anymore. Yeah, I kind of have to have Instagram. Anyways, I think it's cool. Guys with flip phones and guys that don't do social media, you are cooler than me. You're more of a man for sure. But if you didn't see, the Reviver show has been postponed. Now, a lot of you guys have been speculating as to why. And I just want to clear the air. It's nobody's fault. I made an oopsie. All right. So me and Dan were checking out the new venue. And this is cosplay. Okay, I don't usually wear like black on black, like the glasses and the hats and shit. I usually my common attire during the day is like a long duster, like a khaki colored. I guess you'd call it a trench coat. And just for comfort reasons, I like to be completely nude underneath the trench coat, just black socks and like dress shoes, and that's like my everyday attire. Like it cuts down on laundry. It's really comfortable. That's how I usually ride my bike. I like to get the air on my balls. Any hizzle, we went to go check out the venue, and I came right off of work, so I'm wearing my trench coat. I'm naked underneath. I was just rizzing up some ladies off Elm Street in Manchester. And I was talking to a lady at the front. She's an older lady. She works like right at the front door. Dan walked in behind me. It was super windy. Big gust of wind lifts up my trench coat. I don't button it up. I just have like the waistband like cinched up, and it just came apart. And my fucking shriveled dick ass balls were in this old lady's face. So anyways, they called the police. I tried to explain it was an accident. The wind was blowing. I mean, it wasn't my fault. I'm not like some type of pervert. And anyways, my court date is on the 23rd. So I don't know if I'm going to be like incarcerated or if I'm going to be able to beat the charges. So we decided it was probably safest just to say, let's postpone it until after Ryan gets released. I'm probably going to do, bare minimum, at least a month, maybe weekends in county, right? For something like that. It's not my first offense, so. But anyways, yeah, they were cool about it. I mean, I think they'll still let us do the show there. I don't know. What do you think?
I think so.
It was an accident.
I think they understand.
Yeah, they didn't see it that way. They didn't have to get the police involved.
Fucking narcs. Dude, I struggled so hard to stay stoic through that whole story.
Some people are going to believe it. Some people are going to pause the episode and then start commenting like, bro, I got a lawyer buddy from New Hampshire.
Yeah, clip that shit.
Yeah. Yeah, no, I don't actually dress like that. Although I think a duster would be cool, like a black duster. Um,
We had a couple of those kids in high school.
yeah. Who do we know that had a duster? Didn't like Chicken Rick have a duster or something? Someone wore a duster like for a while, trying to make it like a thing.
I don't remember.
I don't remember, but like, yeah, that would be cool. Or I always wanted to be the poncho guy. I think that would be cool, like motorcycle
Hell yeah, like
poncho
a
guy.
drug rug.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Well, I always wear the Bajas, but a full on just like poncho, right?
Yeah, you'd like the Clint Eastwood style. You should definitely
Yeah.
rock that for
Yeah.
sure.
I don't want to appropriate anybody's culture though. So let me know if that's cool or not. I'll be the poncho guy.
Que paso, way.
Yeah.
I think you could rock it.
Yeah, I could do a poncho. There's a lot of things that I'm able to do being a big fat party guy. That's a cool that's a niche in the friend group that you can, everybody has to have a big fat party guy. I'm that guy, I drink beers, I have a big beard. I could be a poncho guy. I could pull it off.
You're our Bert Kreischer.
Yeah. I relate to that dude so much.
I'm sure.
I love it.
love
He
that
does
dude.
this like soliloquy about how he's never going to stop drinking. And to
Yeah.
me, that's like what I play in the morning to get myself like motivated for the day.
He's like, I will never quit drinking.
I'm going to make sure that my body is just healthy enough
Yeah.
to keep drinking.
He's a madman.
Yeah. I love it though. He's like, there's nothing better than drinking when you're not supposed to.
Yeah. On a plane at 6 a.m.
Oh yeah. Yeah. I totally feel that. I'm like, I'm being naughty right now.
Did you ever see the Kool-Aid bit?
Oh, dude, when he was drinking Kool-Aid for breakfast.
Dude, fucking 64 ounces of Kool-Aid and Tom Segura loses his shit.
Yeah.
Oh my God.
I love it because he's actually laughing at him. But that's
yeah.
crazy, dude. Kool-Aid.
Yeah. And the funniest part is that Bert thinks he's being healthy. He's like, oh no, I'm not drinking soda, I'm drinking Kool-Aid.
Yeah.
I'm
rehydrating.
Yeah,
That's probably what it is, getting some electrolytes in the morning.
Yeah. Yeah, it'd be one thing if it was Pedialyte, but just the way that Tom reacts, that I've cried laughing to that video so many times.
Yep. Yeah, so we're hoping, we just I feel bad because there's a lot of people coming from out of state and there's a lot of people that were building bikes for the deadline. So I don't want to be flippant about it. I want to let you guys know, like, we feel terrible that we let you down in that regard. But we couldn't have the show. Couldn't have it on that date. And it wasn't Harley's fault. Definitely wasn't our fault. we still wanted to do it.
Yeah, but, if you're listening to this, you understand construction is construction. You know what I mean? Like this is what they're building has been touted as one of the most technologically advanced Harley Davidson dealerships in the country, and you know what I mean, yada yada. So there's going to be some shit. You know what I mean? And it got pushed more than they expected.
Building inspectors and fucking contractors, like they were supposed to move in when we originally booked this March, April.
Yeah, right.
I think the first date was March,
Yeah.
So anyways, we're hoping, we're going to circle back around with Rowan and team and see if maybe we can do something later this summer.
For sure.
And if not, we'll do something cool.
Yeah. We'll figure something out. Everybody say it with me. You'll have that on those bigger jobs.
Yeah.
It is what it is. Nobody fucked anything up. So, hopefully, I know that this year there's not much. The only thing I'm aware of that's going on in July is Shady at Katie's. So, and then as far as I'm aware, we have like all early August. So hopefully somewhere in that span of time, we can figure something out and we don't want to cobble something together. We want it to be a curated, like well thought out show. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Or we just do it a different way. You know what I mean?
Yeah. A lot of people reached out to different activities we could do, doesn't necessarily even have to be a show.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like It's low impact. A single day show is low impact. It's easy to coordinate. Um, it's just like everybody show up at this one spot at the same time. But I've been talking about forever to do a camping trip. I was talking to Sam,
Yep.
and he was talking about doing old school gypsy run, which
Oh
I
yeah.
think is a super fun idea.
Sick.
So basically you'll start like in New Hampshire somewhere, and you could like shoot up into Vermont and camp somewhere there, and then the next day you pack up and you zip over to like fucking Maine,
Right.
camp over there, and
Yeah.
then you wake up and you come back to New Hampshire or whatever. I thought that was a cool idea because I always get super bummed out when I go to like a weekend show and nobody rides on Saturday. You know, everybody shows up, gets tanked on fucking Friday, or gets into all sorts of shenanigans. And then on Saturday, nobody wants to do shit. They're like, I just want to eat some fucking food, nurse a hangover, and then start partying again, you know? Which
Yep.
is cool. And I've done that too. So I'm not casting
Yeah.
any stones. But I think it's also cool to get up and ride, you know? Feeling
For
like
sure.
shit, just get on your bike and go somewhere else. So I kind of like the idea of a gypsy run.
I love that. I think that would be awesome. Yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
I've never really ridden like really northern Vermont in New Hampshire. I've never really been up that way on a
Yeah.
bike. So I'd love to, I mean, especially like go up through the notch and stuff.
Yeah.
I'm all about that. The more north we can go, the better. And then while, like you said, while we're up there, we can head out to Maine, anywhere in southern Maine.
Yeah. New England is so first of all, like three of the coolest states, in my opinion, are Maine, New Hampshire, Vermont.
Mm-hmm.
Like in America. Vermont's very similar to Maine, but like Vermont's is like if New Hampshire had like a hippie brother,
Yeah.
you know what I mean? Like there's no billboards on the highways. Like they have
No
it's
tolls.
way smaller population wise, you know, like in one of my favorite vacations I ever took was going to Vermont. Stowe, Vermont, dude, is fucking
Stoves.
beautiful.
Oh, yep.
Dude, they
Amazing.
got fucking brewery tours and wineries and fucking just open, beautiful roads, you know?
Yeah.
Like if
Stowe's
anybody
gorgeous.
is like, hey, I got a bike and dude, by the way, I pick up a lot of bikes in Vermont because they don't have the same market we do here.
Right.
So it's a nice ride out there. So I think it would be awesome to go like, you know, northern Vermont or whatever, and then you can cut across and it doesn't take very long. If you're at the top of Vermont, New Hampshire gets narrow at the top, dude. You're in Maine.
Right.
And I've stayed in like you want a good rip if you're gonna be going for a day trip. You could do like 3-4 hours or whatever to your next location. Do the Rangeley up in that area. With all
Yeah.
the
Oh,
lakes
yeah.
and stuff. Fucking beautiful. You could even
sure.
cut down to the beach and do some fucking beach party type shit. I think
That would be
dope as
sick.
fuck.
Honestly, that would be really cool. Yeah.
Yeah, dude.
Hit up like Ogunquit or something on the way down and then ride the coast back.
I would love to be able to pull something off like that. Like if we have two fucking locations, like start in New Hampshire, rip up to Vermont or Maine, whichever one, and then do a gypsy run. You know, leave Friday, rip over Saturday, come home Sunday. That's a weekend thing.
God, that sounds sick as fuck.
And we'd have a bit if you get a big group of dudes that are into it.
Yeah.
How
Yeah,
cool
for
would
sure.
that be, dude? Ripping through fucking Vermont with like 100 bikes.
God. Yeah.
And then you all go camping together, you know? Like that sounds
would be
sick to me.
fucking for sure. That would be killer. Yeah. I'm down to set that up regardless.
So maybe that's something that we do separate from the show. I don't know. Summer's filling up pretty quick. I mean, I can't believe it's already going to be fucking June, dude.
Yeah, but it's only 44 fucking degrees.
Yeah, what the fuck, dude?
Bro.
It's been 40 and raining, bro.
Yeah.
So I'm not in a I'm actually in a huge rush to fix the bike and get it all back together. Even though I can't ride it, I'm like, I'll get it. This fucking thing. If this thing was running today, there's no way I can take it out. It's actively raining and it's 40 degrees. High, by the way. Which means it's like 20 degrees when I wake up.
For sure. Yeah, especially up there, dude. Fucking you might get some snow tonight.
Bro. It is cold. It is cold right now.
It's colder than it should be. But then again, I remembered today. Remember after our show last year, we stayed up at New Durham or whatever for Bike Week. And I remember I went up there not expecting it to be all that cold because it's the first week of June and it'd be nice riding and whatever. But dude, every time we went riding, I was freezing. Remember?
It was cold, yeah.
Every time we went, I had to like buy a hoodie everywhere we went because I was so fucking cold that whole week.
Because it was raining, and then when it wasn't raining, it was overcast because it was about to
Yeah.
rain.
Yeah, that was a really, really rough bike week. We got fucked.
Yeah, there's a couple. I mean, yeah, we got fucked. That kind of sucked,
Yeah.
actually.
We got plenty of
Didn't
riding.
we ride up after the show? Wasn't that it?
Yeah, we rode to our Airbnb in New Durham.
Yeah. That was cool.
Yeah, that was super sick for sure.
That was wicked. That was cool. That was great. That was actually, we had our show, and then we fucking all hopped on the bikes, and then we're like bombed to this cabin out in the woods.
Yep, all of
Beautiful
us,
spot.
John, Luke, and Jess. Yeah, all the wives and kids met us up there the next day, right? Or were they all up there? No, they all came up with us, I think.
Yeah, they all came up with us. I think.
Yeah. Oh, and then the freaking the tree fell on the electrical pole, and we had to call
Alexa's girlfriend got hit by a car.
Oh my God, that's right, and he had to leave. Fuck, dude, that was a wild fucking night
With no headlight.
Yeah, with no fucking headlight, and I think it was raining.
Yeah, it was raining.
It sounds like a grandpa
night.
story. Yeah, this sounds
no
like a grandpa
headlight
story.
and
raining uphill both ways in the snow.
Yeah. And you know, the eclipse, that boy likes to drink. So I think he had a few pops that day too. But he made it home.
Still with us, Lex.
Yeah. I think he's going to party at the Pen.
Fuck yeah.
Dude, he's riding.
Nice. I know quite a few people are. Yeah, that's sick. If I could do the time off from work and actually financially afford it. No way.
Plus, I'm missing one key component. I need to have a running bike.
Yeah, I know. I have the Sportster, but breaking news, I'll put it here first. The Scythe is up for sale. I haven't really committed to a price yet. Yeah, but it's up for sale. So if you want to talk to me about it, hit me up. It's my 883 Sportster, 1989. If you want to know any more deets, hit me up. So I could ride that, but honestly, like I don't have I don't have any choice. I have to sell that thing. So I'm kind of weary of riding it right now because with the way things have been going lately, with my luck, I'll end up totaling the fucking thing, but walking away unscathed. You know what I mean? So
just the bike is hurt.
Yeah, exactly. Just the bike is completely unsellable. It fucks up the Bone Orchard Springer and any other half decent parts that I have on it. What?
Do you have a price in mind for that thing? You don't have to put it out here.
I'm thinking I'm somewhere probably between 5 and 6 on it. I think is a fair price for it.
6 all day.
Yeah.
Bone Orchard, dude, that thing is fucking sick. 6,000's a steal, dude. I sold my Sportster for 6,000.
Yeah, but I just saw I feel terrible. I forget who it was that was selling it, but I just saw someone was selling an absolutely killer 88 4-speed, and it had the paint by loose, like nice replica molded tin paint, fucking whole nine, like all the cool parts. It looked super sick, and he only had it up on Chopper Swapper for 5. So,
dude, it's the little things. The little things add up. Like, first of all, it's one-off. You got the scythes on the front. Second of all, Bone Orchard Springer, you have the F&A light on it.
F&A light, yep.
You got all the cool little bits. And it's already broken in. It's ready to munch miles. It's just, and it's a fucking Sportster, dude.
Yeah. It's fun to ride. It's a looker. Yeah, I love it. I really
I put it on Marketplace for $6,000. Easy. Someone's going to give you cash, not even haggle.
I think that's probably where I'm at.
You know, if you're a friendly to the show, maybe he'll give you a little discount. Maybe.
Yeah. A little discount.
Really nice.
For sure. But this is, like I said, this isn't me selling it because I want to sell it and I just want some extra pocket cash. So where I'm at on price, I'm going to have to kind of stick because this is to put food on the table type shit. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Yeah.
So, but yeah, so if you're interested, let me know. And if you're interested in having it for less money, I will most definitely keep the Bone Orchard Springer. So if you have your own front end you want to put on it, and you want it for like
Oh, there you go.
4K,
Yeah.
let me know.
You want it for 5? I take the Bonaventure Springer. I'll
Yeah,
put a.
right.
Do you have the Gypsy Witch front end still?
Nope. No,
Oh,
I
okay.
I don't I don't currently have a front end for it. And I've considered going and finding just a stock 39 mil or whatever, but I'm just gonna put it up 6K. If you need it for less than that, I'm more than happy to take. I would prefer to keep the Springer, obviously,
Yeah.
and the light. You know what I mean?
Light and the Springer.
Yeah,
Because
and I
that's like
made
2K right there, bro.
that Springer. That Springer's up near 2K, and then that light's I think it's like
250, 300
yeah
bucks.
it's 275 or something like that.
Yeah.
And
And
it's
I mean,
got
you
nice
got new shoes
bars,
on
nice
that bitch. I
risers.
mean, that thing is
Yeah,
fucking ready to rock. I mean, you already did. Here's the other thing that's really important when you buy a bike that someone built. He already broke it in for himself, so it's
yeah,
safe and it can fucking do the mileage. That's
yeah,
huge because
for
people
sure.
build bikes all the time. I've had buddies from reputable big time builders get bikes, and it ain't all that
For
because it's
sure.
like, dude, you got to need those break in miles, you know?
Yeah, definitely. Yeah, for sure. It's well broken in. It's I did a bunch of stuff. I did basically everything you could do to the motor except the bottom end. Yeah, it's got Evo rockers
It's
on it.
skinny
Like I
AF
put a,
too.
it's super skinny. Yeah, it's a really, really, really fun little bike. Like
Yeah.
it's super, super fun. Initially, I had a little bit of a weird time getting used to just having the skinny tires and it being basically a bicycle with a motor. But after I got used to it and really got familiar with it, man, that bike is so much fun. It's super reliable, upgraded charging system, like
Mhm.
anti-gravity battery, all that shit.
Oh yeah, dude.
I yeah, I've ironed out any of the weird shit that's going on with it. The thing's bulletproof.
It's a type of bike. If you want to bring it to your local bike night, every dude that's at that bike night is going to be surrounding that bike. It's going to be the only one like it. You know what I mean?
If you live in a small town, yeah. but but yeah, no, I mean I put a lot of work and cut my teeth on a lot of shit on that bike. So I really don't want to get rid of it, but if you're interested in it, you got to have it. Please hit me up.
Yeah.
Make something happen.
If I had 6 grand, I'd give it to you. I'd buy that bike.
Yeah,
But I'm all
I've
about the boot boy now, buddy. I love that
yeah,
bike.
dude. Oh man.
How's that? How's that? That thing's sitting pretty. I got to see it in person the other day with a brandy new kicker.
Yeah, man. Oh yeah, I haven't put that out yet, I don't think. I got the kicker kit. I got the cannonball from W&W. Um man, is that fucking thing nice. Holy shit,
It
is
is
it well
fucking
built.
solid, dude.
It is so solid. Like it's night and fucking day and as you'd expect for the price. The install was a little bit more involved than I expected, but as long as you have as long as you're set up to where you can safely press bearings in and out of things, you can do it at your house. You know, there's nothing super crazy involved. Um, but yeah, it's so solid. It took me probably a good 3-4 hours to do the install. But all of the internals on it are CNC machined and replaceable or carbide or like the spring that comes with this
How
kit.
did you get those bushings out? Just a drift?
Mm-mm. So what I do at home is in my little tiny vise there, I had just enough clearance on the trap door that I could set it in the vise, and then I took a socket on one end and then two pieces of wood on the other so that there's room for the hole, and just literally use the vise and it and squeaks it right out. But
That's nice.
you just got to make sure that you're so the purpose is to reuse the bearings. That's why you have to press them out and then press them
Yeah.
back in, obviously. So
You
you
could buy
can't
brand new bearings if they were, if you
exactly.
wanted to. Yeah.
For sure. And then if you're going to do that and you're running this kit, which I know not many people are because it's fucking $1,700, but if you do that and buy your own bearings, you also have to buy the snap rings, which are a motherfucker. Honestly, that was the most difficult part of the entire thing, was getting the snap rings out of the fucking trapdoor. Holy fuck. I have an entire set of snap-on snap ring pliers. It's not like I'm using Harbor Freight shitty jobbies or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
And it took me a good half hour to get them out. It
Yep.
was so frustrating. So fucking frustrating. But other than that, they have a video online that's step by step, more or less, But very easily fill in the blanks. Just all the shit
Except they
like,
didn't say to take out the bearings.
yeah, at one point it says mount the prepared backing plate. And I don't know why, but I expected that the backing plate that they sent had bearings pressed into it. So when I opened it up, and I was like, oh, got to do that. Okay. But like I said, it wasn't a big deal. They're press fit in there, but they're not. It's not machine fit. That's why the snap ring's there. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So it's not a super huge ordeal. Block of wood, rubber mallet in the socket that fits the exact outer diameter of the bearing itself. You'll be gooch. But yeah, I
Yeah.
bolted it on. Fucking put the kicker arm on, and it says, once you have everything hand tight, crank the kicker arm a couple times just to cycle it through and make sure the ratchet gears are meshing and all that shit. And immediately, even with the bolts just finger tight, I was like, this is gonna work. And then yeah, fucking started playing with it a little bit. Every time I've gotten it to start so far, it's been by surprise. So the first time I was out there and I was playing with it and I kicked it probably 30 times and nothing. I'd get like some farts here and there and I had a little bit of white smoke coming out of the exhaust, but I could never get it to actually kick. So I kind of had more or less given up on hearing it start at that day, and was just like, okay, now I'm going to start diagging what's going on. So I opened up the ignition cover and was just watching the points, and I was literally just standing on the pedal basically and running the pedal through to see if the points were actually getting any spark. And the very first time I did that, I'm looking down at the points and I just literally put my weight through the kicker pedal. I didn't jump on it, nothing. And it fucking boom, and it scared the absolute shit out of me. And then, so I'm like, oh, fuck. I want to get a fucking video of it real quick. Like I revved it a couple times. The choke was on. I didn't want to fuck with it. And it sounded like it wasn't going to explode. So I go and I grab my phone and I'm taking a video and I'm shaking, fucking screaming. I didn't even know what I was saying. My wife comes out because she heard it running. So she's like all fucking excited. So I got even more. I was like a fucking puppy dog. So yeah, I had it running for a minute and then I killed the choke on it and then it tied. And then I kicked it another probably 20 times and it wouldn't kick over again. So I let it sit for the day. But then I got it running same fucking thing the next time. Kev came over and I'm playing with it, kicked it a bunch. This one time was probably like 10 times or so. And then I was like, all right, I'm tired. You try. And we thought the key was off, but it was on. So he just put his foot through. Same thing, just let it fall through and it fucking started. So I'm in the process of trying to figure out the handshake that this thing had, you know what I mean? The secret handshake to get this thing started. And you know what I mean? I'm still familiarizing myself with points. I've never fucked with points before. I still don't believe that I have them timed correctly, but it runs super strong and it sounds good. Once I got it to run with the choke off, the fucking throttle response is so nice. It's loud as fuck. Like, oh man, it's sick. It's such a relief to hear your bike run when you haven't heard the motor run before.
Yeah.
It's not
Especially
something
when you don't know if you're going
anymore.
to get it to run and then it surprises you and you're like, oh my God, I can't believe it worked.
Yeah, dude. It literally like the adrenaline rush that I got from it, I was shaking like uncontrollably. My legs were jello. It was so sick. If you guys have built a bike from random parts, you'll understand what I'm talking about. I honestly feel the feeling of hearing your bike run is better very slightly than riding it the very first time.
Especially with a kicker.
Yeah.
Because you're like, am I kicking? It just adds another level of complexity. You're like, am I doing it right? Am I doing the whole startup routine like correctly? And it's harder. Like starter button, you're just like, boop. And if it doesn't start, you're like, oh, whoopsie daisy. But with a kicker, like you said, dude, like when I first got that shovel head together, and I'm like, I'd never I'd never had a kick chopper, you know? Mm-hmm. And I'm like, that's the only way to start it. And yeah, you kick it like fucking 40 times and it finally starts up. And you're just like, what the fuck?
Yeah.
What did I do that time that made that happen?
Yeah. Please don't tell me your startup procedure is 40 fucking primer kicks.
Oh, no.
There's got to be another.
It was rough that first year with the shovel head. I had the points in there. Yeah. I had the fucking S&S, the Super E on it. And I think that I think it was a carb or points issue on that.
Yeah,
But when I
I
went to
honestly,
electronic and I went to the CV, it was a one kick bike every couple of weeks.
yeah,
Every couple of weeks, I got it. Actually, once it was up and running, like I could pretty much get it going again. You know.
right. Yeah, that's the thing that I'm gonna make sure that this thing is like a within 3 to 5 kicks every single time bike before I start really taking it out because I'm not sitting at a fucking gas station for
Yeah.
fucking 45 minutes sweating my dick off trying to get it started again while everyone's
Yeah.
waiting for me.
Been
It's
there.
not.
I've stalled out
Yeah,
on the side of the road, dude, and you have cars behind you. You have to kick it. It
yeah.
fucking
Fuck
sucks.
all that, dude. I don't have the anxiety for
But it motivates you,
no
dude. Yeah, it
way.
motivates you to get
Oh,
that thing dialed in, you know?
yeah, for sure. Yeah, I'm not gonna put it out on the road like a lot until I've got it dialed in. So,
Yeah. Yeah, get it
but
dialed
yeah,
in because that
it's
feels
close.
fucking good. You kick your bike once.
Yeah, for sure. That's what I want.
I
So
saw
I'm
the
hoping by
Tennessee Rick put out that reel with Tennessee
oh,
motorcycle music
music
revival or whatever.
revival. Yep.
Old Pan Sam was in that.
Yeah, he was all
Shirtless.
up in it. Yeah,
Shit
I got
faced.
got some screenshots.
Yeah, dude. He was cutting
Yep.
loose. That looks like a good fucking time. I'd love to get down there next year if they do it again.
Yeah, dude, for sure. I was gonna say that might be one I add to the list. That looks like such a good time, and that's my two favorite things mixed into one.
Yeah, dude, that Kickstart contest was wild. He was telling me about it. It was like I think it was Danger Dan or something was
Yeah.
calling it out. And dude, people were getting crazy, dude. It was calling out all sorts of weird shit. Like it looked fun. It wasn't like, all right, everybody get in a line and kick your bike and race to the end. It was like a wild time. Like people were like all around.
Yeah. Yeah, it was a spectacle. It looked awesome.
Yeah. And seeing Pan Sam without a shirt on.
Yeah.
I love that.
Oh
That dude was
yeah.
straight edge for like ever.
I know. He's cutting
Yeah.
fucking loose. He was
I was
having a
making
good
up
old
for lost
time.
time.
That's right.
He loves a good time. And I hope we get to see him this year. I don't know. He's maybe he'll make it to party at the pen.
Yeah, I think he's on the fence on that, which is coming
Yeah.
up.
But a lot of the homies are going to the party at the pen. We're gonna be at the party at the pen.
Yes, sir.
June 7th and 8th at the Shawshank Prison. We got a hotel too.
Yeah, we do.
We got the worst hotel in Mansfield, Ohio. I guarantee it, buddy.
I'm fucking
$50 a night.
Yeah, that's crazy, dude.
That
I'm good with it. I don't plan on being there all that often, so
yeah. I'm gonna
fuck
sleep
it.
there. And if someone wants to fuck with me, we show them how we do it from the Northeast. I'm a mean
Gotta-
motor scooter.
I keep forgetting to check their laws out there.
I'm just bringing it.
Yeah,
I'm gonna
obviously
keister
not
stash
doing
it.
that.
In the old man purse.
Hold on. Oh, it's jammed. It's got shit in it.
Yeah, I'm keeping that at 12 o'clock.
Yeah.
6 o'clock.
That's not the blicky. That's the icky.
Dude, I shoot you, you get a fucking staph infection too, bro.
Oh, dude. You get sepsis.
Yeah.
Die slow, motherfucker.
You can't not be carrying a gun when we're staying in a hotel that costs $50 though.
Yeah, for real. I'm straight up. I'm going to go to Harbor Freight and I'm going to get like 10 feet or 12 feet of fucking like heavy duty chain and some master locks and shit.
Oh yeah.
I'm going to bring my fucking little mini Wi-Fi, Bluetooth, whatever fucking security camera and I'll mount it in the back of my truck so that we can see out to make sure people don't fuck with the bikes.
With the yard pass, I think you can park it in the prison. Keep it
My
there.
plan with the yard pass is to get to where we are in Ohio, or if we have, the thing is logistically, we don't even know if it's just me and you going out there in the truck or if someone's hopping in with us or whatever, you know what I mean? But
Right.
my thought process, because you and I don't have to load in because we're not like in one of the cells and have a yard pass, is get to where we're staying, unass the bikes out of the truck, and then be on the bike the rest of the time. Show up to the show on the bike and then leave the show and go to the after party, and then, you know what I mean?
Right.
And just park the fucking truck. If they want to steal the truck, I don't care. It's insured.
Yeah.
The truck ain't registered or insured. So if it gets stolen, it's gone forever.
Sure. I guess I was just thinking it's probably safer locked in a prison than being in the $50 hotel parking lot.
Yeah, I mean, not for nothing. Depending, yeah, if that's an option to leave it,
I think
maybe
he
we
said you can leave
maybe we
it
can explore that. Yeah,
Saturday,
if that is
Sunday.
an option. Yeah, we'll see. I don't know. I mean, it depends. If it's a cool area and there's some cool shit going on, I might just want to go fucking ride.
Yeah. 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 Definitely
Um,
want to get some riding done out there for
for
sure.
sure. Yeah.
Like, it's cool to go to the show and all, but like, bro, Ohio riding? If it's nice out, what the fuck, dude?
Yeah, I know. Yep. I'm excited. That's going to be a lot of fun. I'm excited for the trip out and back, honestly. I looked yesterday, it's like 10 and a half hours from here.
Yeah, dude. I haven't done a trip like that in a long time.
Me either. Not in a car, not in a vehicle. No way. I haven't
I can't
I haven't
remember
done
last time I
anything
was
like that.
fucking 10 hours straight in a car.
No, me either. Nope. Long fucking time. I'm excited. It's going to be fun.
Yeah.
Yep. If you're from around here and you're still also trying to figure out how you're getting out there and where you're staying or whatever, reach out to us. We can try and all be near or whatever. If you want to be part of the big boys club, you can come stay at the fucking Get Stabbed Inn.
Yeah, it's true. Like, when we first started planning this, we had like a lot more stuff going on. We had trailers and more people involved. And then now I think it's just me and you at this moment for sure,
Yeah.
100%.
Right.
So,
Yep, for sure. And then yeah, there's potential we may have to make a pit stop in Cleveland or something to pick up my buddy Colin Gravy from Texas. So he
in
called me last night.
Cleveland,
Yeah, and we're gonna the route we're gonna take is gonna bring us right through Cleveland. So or like right, just due north of it or whatever. So
yeah.
and the stars would have to align perfectly. So it's not a sure
Is
shot,
he
but
is he going 100% or
not he's not 100% sure
oh, he's
yet.
not
But
100%.
that's why he's exploring the how many of my homies are coming from which direction and where can I fly in that one of them can pick me up. You know what I mean?
Yeah, yeah.
So he's trying to figure out his logistics. I think everybody is from out here now trying to figure out, fuck, can I even actually make this happen?
Yeah, everybody was oh yeah, totally going. But then it's like, oh, you got to actually plan and shit. You actually have to have money too.
Exactly. You have to have money and not for nothing, dude. If it wasn't for my VA shit, like I would have had to pull out for sure. There's no way I could actually afford to do this. If I didn't get my shit on the first, no way. I don't have enough money in my account to put gas in the truck to get there. Like straight up, dude. I just got
Well,
paid
hopefully that
yesterday.
Patreon money hits and you guys will be paying for our gas, and we appreciate that.
Yeah, that would be great.
Because yeah, we're hurting for certain. I mean, homeboy's selling his fucking pride and joy, the scythe. I don't have any bikes left to sell. I can't even. I need a bike to sell.
We will soon. We're gonna do that sporty.
Oh yeah, 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 yeah. Oh yeah, I
Yeah,
gotta send you
boy.
some stuff. I got some cool shit. Me and
Hell
Dan are
yeah.
cooking up a mess over here, guys. We got some big stuff coming down.
Yes,
We're
sir.
just gonna tickle it right now. Just
Send
gonna
it.
tickle it. We're not gonna tell you. We're just gonna tickle it. Something's going down. It's big time.
Yeah.
Involves me, Dan, and you guessed it, bikes. That OnlyFans didn't take off. Dan did a solo video. We got like 3 views. We didn't make any money off it.
All the
I did a
comments.
solo video and I got us kicked off OnlyFans.
All the comments were talking about my hairy asshole.
Yeah, I should have taken your advice. I should have been jorking it instead of fingering my asshole. We probably could have got a couple extra views.
I've considered it, man. You guys fucking with my head. I'm just kidding.
Dude, if I thought for a second that I could make any money off OnlyFans, I would do it. But I don't think I would make any money. I'd just embarrass myself and probably lose my
Dude.
job.
What is it? Rule 34? If you can think of it, it exists on the internet. There's somebody out there for you, man. There's somebody out there that wants to send you a couple $100 a week to diddle your bean, your back bean, your dirty penny.
Yeah, I don't know. It's gross.
There's somebody. I'm telling you.
Oh my God. I feel bad for that person.
Yeah, they're.
But if you're that
definitely something
person, go find some professional help. You don't talk to a friend. You need like Someone with
Yeah.
a degree.
Yeah, buddy check can't help you, bro. Oh man.
Which we were talking right before the show. We should do a buddy check.
We should. For sure. I know we usually do it at the end, but c'est la vie.
Or usually
Buddy
do it at the
check.
end, but let's highlight it right here in the middle of the show. Smack dab in the middle.
Yeah. Yep. Doesn't look like the hard times are coming to an end here anytime soon, boys. So I'm sure that resonates with a lot of other people. We were talking about how every time you fucking go outside your house right now, it's $100 or more. It's hard to fucking be right now. So keep your homies and your family and whatever in mind. And everybody's going through some shit. Try to be a little extra courteous or whatever, I guess. But
yeah, be nice. Be nice to everybody.
Yeah, times are tough for everywhere, for everyone. So
unless they're a fucking asshole, and be really mean to them.
Yeah, for sure. And if you're an asshole, if you're gonna be an asshole in times like this, like you deserve to get your fucking shit stomped, like for real. Just don't be a fucking asshole, right? I'm not saying don't fuck with people, but don't be an asshole. There's a difference.
There is a big difference, dude. I see these like, people, dudes that all live together and they like prank each other. But they like prank each other a little too hard. It's like, dude, that's not even funny, dude.
Dude, some of that shit, like where they're like hitting each other with fucking lacrosse balls and shit out of fucking potato guns and shit, dude.
Yeah.
I'm fighting the fuck out of you if I can stand up.
Yeah.
Some of it's fucking crazy. So do you follow the Australian dudes? I forget their names. Is that what you're referring to?
That's the one, the Australian dudes.
Those guys are brutal.
Yeah, dude.
But looks
every
like
day.
fun.
I wouldn't be able to sleep.
No way. Those dudes for sure have post-traumatic stress disorder from each other.
Oh, yeah.
Imagine how fucking, they're like nervous chihuahuas in person, I bet.
Oh, yeah. Fuck that
I
shit,
couldn't
dude.
live like that. But I do I like pranks. I think people got too soft for pranks nowadays. You don't really see, I mean, obviously you see them on Instagram and shit, but I don't even mean like the crazy shit where you see some fucking white dude go into a hood and start yelling shit he shouldn't be yelling and then he gets fucking shot or beat up. I'm talking about like little goofy shit on your friends. I feel like that's not really a thing anymore.
Yeah, dude. You know what? Like there's this cottage industry of these dudes that go on, I don't know what the fuck platform they are, like YouTube or TikTok or whatever, and they go and fuck with people in public. And they're not even funny, dude. They're just like it's funny to pretend to like make yourself a joke, and like fart and pretend you shit your pants.
Those are hilarious.
Don't go into people's ears and be like, and like fuck with people while they're at Home Depot. Fuck you, dude. I can't wait till that happens to me.
Crazy, dude.
Bro, I'll punch a 15-year-old in his face if he does that. I don't give a fuck.
Or the dudes who like they'll walk up and start screaming like they're gonna start a fight with you or whatever, and they go, "Oh, I'm on the phone, bro."
Oh, dude,
I don't give a fuck. I'll fucking feed you that phone, dude. Like,
not
fuck
funny,
off.
not cool.
Right.
Fuck with people, but like make it funny at least.
Yeah, exactly.
I do like the hood prank ones where the dudes go to the hood because they are actually get knives and guns pulled on them. They're actually like fucking with these dudes.
Yeah. I saw one the other day of a dude standing on a corner and this other guy walks up next to him. And the dude who's doing the prank pulls up his shirt and he's got what looks like a gun in his waist or whatever. And the dude turns around and he's like, "Yeah, you want to do that? Blah, blah, blah." Well, long story short, the dude pulling the prank pulls his out and it's got an orange tip. It's fake as fuck. And like that was the point of the prank, was for him to pull a gun on a real gangster and a real gangster to be like, "That's fake, ha ha ha." And this dude was like, "That's not fucking how we play. Like, you don't understand where you're at. Like, that shit is, to me, that's not funny. That's dumb as fuck."
Yeah.
That's crazy.
My favorite was when that dude was fucking with that kid and he pulled out a gun and shot him in the stomach.
Yeah, dude. Like, it's crazy that more of that doesn't happen. The clown shit, remember the clown shit?
Oh, yeah.
People running around dressed up like clowns in the middle of the night with fucking baseball bats and shit. Like, dude, if I see you, I drive a pickup truck with a chrome bump, you're going to be a fucking stain on my bumper, dude. Oh, yeah. I don't give a shit. I'm not going to ask you what you're doing. Why are you here? All those videos, these guys are like challenging them. Just fucking run them over.
Yeah, I got to check. I got to check and see. I don't think it's illegal to kill clowns. I think that's in New Hampshire. I think you can kill a clown even if they're not like attacking you or threatening you.
Should be open season.
Clown aside, dude.
Open
Legal.
season on stupidity. How about that?
All right, so we got Boot Boy. You are just at this point just dialing her in.
Yeah,
She
more or less.
runs. You want her to be a one kick bike, but then she's
Yeah.
good to go.
Yes, sir. That's it. Yeah, I think I want to switch out the headlight because the one I got is not very bright. But
Yep.
other than that, yeah, I mean it's ready to roll.
I'm pretty fucking close.
I was gonna say, how about you?
Being 100% done.
Yeah.
This paint job has been the bane of my existence for the last 3 weeks. I've fucked this up and sanded it off fucking 5 times now.
Dude.
And I've ran into every fucking issue. Like, Dan is a wealth of information when it comes to painting. But there's some things that he probably just assumed that I would do because he was like, oh, Ryan's not. I mean, he says he's retarded, but he's not actually retarded. But it turns out I'm actually retarded. So things like cleaning your gun after using it. Like, I had to learn that, like, you can't just fucking let the paint dry inside the gun. And then when you clean it, it takes fucking 10 times as long. And you can't spray it with water. Like, you can't, like, just rinse it in water. Like, the paint doesn't fucking, like, it doesn't move.
Not
It
water
doesn't
soluble,
care
no.
that there's water, you know? You have to use gallons of acetone. Keeping the guns clean. So the guns I'm talking about, I have an HLVP, HVLP spray gun. And I also have airbrush. And you have to keep these things perfectly clean. After you use them, they have to be perfectly clean. If there's any paint in there, like the little tiny passages, especially with the airbrush, dude, those passages are so small. Like, I had to go out and buy like pipe cleaners and shit, like all sorts of like tiny wires and stuff to get into these like little areas. And you have to break it up all the way apart. You can't just throw the fucking thing in acetone and come the next day. The acetone evaporates. It's gone.
Yep.
It's dry now.
I still remember the first time I disassembled an airbrush and went, what the fuck did I get myself into?
Oh, yeah.
Yep.
So that, number one, that's the biggest thing was that first time I did everything, how quickly that paint dries.
Mm-hmm.
Because even if you like wrap it up and like put a cover on it and stuff, there's an activator in it. It fucking doesn't need oxygen, you know? Like, it's not like a regular can of house paint. Right. So that was my first little learning curve, was keeping everything surgically clean. Surgically clean. You have to clean out, you break the fucking thing all the way apart. Every piece of that gun gets cleaned out, scrubbed immediately before you're done and go, oh, I'm going inside, take a dump. You got to clean everything. Don't leave it till tomorrow. So that was the first thing. Second thing was the fucking image transfer I couldn't get right this time. So like the first time I did it right on the base, the primer coat, because it's high build primer. And I was like, oh, well, do high build primer on top and it'll be easier to like feather it in. But I couldn't, I had to like tape off the image, because when you're spraying that fucking gun, dude, it aerosolizes the paint and it goes fucking everywhere, dude. Yeah. Like,
Atomizes it. Yep.
You're in a fog, dude. Like, it's not like with a spray can, you can kind of just put your fucking t-shirt over your face. Like, this stuff is in the air and it is lingering. It's all over your bike. It's all over everything, dude.
What do you have your air pressure set at?
20, I think, or 20 to 30, I think.
And you're getting that much overspray.
Yeah.
Oh, shit.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's the other thing is I don't even know if the gun is like dialed in. You know, there's a bunch of different settings on it. And so I have like the Dexter Kill Room drop cloth thing, and I just spray, get the right pattern. You want the fan pattern. I'm like, all right, but then it's like, how much paint do you want to come out of it, right? Because you don't want
Right.
drips, and you don't want it to be too light. So I think I got it right. Like I watched a bunch of videos and stuff, and I'm like, all right, so I think that's pretty much the pattern you want. But that stuff hangs in the air, you know.
Mhm. Yep.
But I don't know. Maybe I was doing something wrong. Maybe there's a
Did you
passage fucking clogged up or something. I don't know.
did you have any airflow going on? Do you have any fans or anything blowing, or the door open or
I had
anything
the
in the
windows
garage?
open, and I had the windows open. In
Yeah.
the garage doors, I open up just a little crack at the bottom, but
Yeah.
nothing like actively pushing.
Yeah, I would that stuff when it lingers, I run into this in the paint booth, and that's why I'll usually do, unless I'm doing clear coat and I want it to be like absolutely can't afford to get any trash in it, I leave the actual door open to outside and open up this window with the fan pointing outward, and then I crack the garage door at least a couple inches so that there's a cross flow, and that
Yeah.
sucks out that overspray pretty quick. If you don't get that overspray out quick, it will absolutely land back on your shit, and it will give you a fucked up
Yep.
finish. It won't structurally hurt the paint, but it'll end up looking like matte and kind of like gritty.
Yep. Yeah. Yeah, and I'll get to that too because I had some trouble with that on the clear coat. But the first like base coat with the image transfer, when I was trying to sand it to kind of feather it in because there's such a ridge to it, since I did the base coat with no clear coat, the image wasn't protected
Mm.
by the clear coat. So when I was sanding it, I ripped that paper that the image transfers on because it's very, very thin.
Yeah.
So I took that off, sanded it down, and I talked to you, and then I went in with so I did the primer, and then I did the base coat on top of that. And then I put the image transfer down, and then I did the a light coat of the clear to
Mhm.
seal it all in. But that clear, and again, just the coverage, like I did, I don't know about like how thick it is, like how many passes I'm doing, and I'm trying to be like really careful not to get it to drip. But I think that I had too much, like it was just really light, right? So like the light
Mhm.
coats over light coats over light coats, it didn't really build up. You know what I
Yep.
mean? So I
Yep.
had a bunch of light coats, but I didn't feel like I had a nice thick like coating over it. So anyways, when I went back, I feathered it all in. Um, and then again, the same thing happened was when I was sanding it, the little edges, there was like these the second time too. Here's the other thing. I told you this. The
Mhm.
image transfer like shrunk. So like I put it on there, and I did the clear coat on top, and I don't know if maybe it wasn't all the way dried out or something, but it shrunk and it like wrinkled and cracked in a couple of places. So when I was sanding it, it caught those wrinkles, those cracks, and I was like, fuck it. I gotta do it again. So I ripped it off. This third one, the image transfer was flawless. It was flawless. There wasn't a crack. There wasn't a fucking. It was beautiful, right? And so the image transfer, the way that you do it is, I have white paper for the image transfer, and you do a clear coat on top, and that has to dry first. It has to be all the way dry, and then when you put it in the water, it separates, so it has that backing, and then your image transfer and the ink is all held on by that clear coat. So the third time I did it, the clear coat and everything was perfect. And I also found out that if you just use the whole sheet, it's easier on a rounded surface because you can pull the edges and then kind of you cut reliefs in. So you
Yep.
can pull the corner up this way, pull this corner up this
Mhm.
way. And then you don't have any wrinkles except for on the very edges. And what you do is just take a razor blade and cut right around it. So now,
Yep.
perfect image transfer, no creases. All the fucking ink has stayed.
Mm.
So I'm like, sick, dude. This is it. This is it. I did it. It a third time's a charm.
Mhm.
So I feather it in. I go and hit it with the fucking clear coat, and there's some goddamn chemical reaction, and all the base coat and all the airbrush, the stuff that I just airbrushed in, immediately just wrinkled up.
Yep.
So I'm like, what the fuck, dude?
More
And
than likely with the airbrush paint, just for reference.
yeah,
With
and I might have gone too hard in the paint on that.
Yeah, I
No
think
pun
that
intended.
was probably a little too much clear coat for how little either. I mean, you could look at it two different ways: too much clear coat or not enough of the because you used white base coat to fill in the edge on the image transfer, right?
Yeah, and it could have also been a chemical reaction. It could have been like some water trapped underneath or something, like
Yeah.
or some of the adhesive. That's the other thing I was thinking is because when I got that perfect image transfer, when you're squeegeeing it on, you're pushing the air bubbles out and some of that adhesive kind of pokes out. It kind of and you have to clean it up.
Yep. Yep.
And it's not easy to clean up
Right.
because you can't clean it up with acetone on paint. So you're like, you're trying to scrub it a little bit. And then, so, anyways, it bubbled up and I was like, fuck. So I tried to sand it off, like where that rippled up. And I was sanding it down. I was like, please be okay. Just get those ridges out. And then maybe I could feather that one spot in at the bottom. Went too deep, ripped the paper again, sanded it all down. So, did it again. This time, I got the image transfer on, and it was on bare metal. I just did bare metal with clear coat, like you said, right? So I did the clear coat, reset it. I'm all out of primer at this. The primer is gone. I've used the entire can of primer. It's all gone. That's how many times I fucking repainted this goddamn thing. So I did a coat of clear, did the image transfer on top of that. It's white paper, so that helps, right? So like the white, there's two different image transfers that you can do. You can do clear sheets or white sheets. The clear sheets you hit with white paint on top, and it's like a mirror, and you reverse it. But the white stuff, you can just do it, print it out, and put it right on. And you do
So
clear coat on top.
let me ask you something on that. You said that when you use so I use the clear paper when I do image transfers.
Mhm.
So all I do is print it out and then I'll take white base coat and just put with the airbrush just a couple coats on it, and that gives it enough rigidity that it's also that layer is now not water soluble. So when you put it in the water, it doesn't eat that layer away. So it gives the actual paper a little bit more rigidity, but it makes your image not opaque. Or I'm sorry, it makes it opaque, not transparent. If you didn't put the white on it, it would be transparent. You wouldn't see all the images. So you said you put a clear coat on your image transfer paper. Do you mean clear coat?
Mm-hmm. So
Really?
it's not mirrored, right? So you do the white, and then you have to flip it over.
I reverse the image when I print it out.
Yes, I do not.
So you use actual clear coat on the backing paper of the image transfer.
Yeah. So here it is. This is the back, right? It says whatever,
Yep.
printer's jack. And then this is like the glossy photo side.
Mm-hmm.
So the image comes out here and it's not mirrored. It's exactly how you see it.
Yeah.
All right. And then I spray the front with the clear coat and that keeps the ink on. And then the backing comes off and you just lay it just down just like you had it.
Right.
No mirroring.
Yeah, I've never heard. So when you spray the clear coat on, how long do you wait until you do the image transfer?
Until it's cured, until the clear is cured.
Right, but how long are you like when
I
when
waited
you've
like
done
the
it?
next day.
Okay, all right. That was my next question. Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, clear
So
takes a good
I
12
didn't
to
tell you
24.
this.
Okay.
I did it. The one I did perfectly, I waited the whole day. The one before that, I didn't wait the whole day. I waited like a few hours till it wasn't tacky anymore. And when I took it off and I spread it over, like some of the pieces were stretched, like it wasn't keeping the ink in place.
Yeah.
Yeah. So you definitely have to keep it till it's fully cured, like overnight. So you spray it the day before and then.
So that's in my opinion, that's another advantage to doing the clear ones because I spray with my airbrush. I spray that white paint on, and then I walk away, and 10 minutes later, I'm ready to put my image transfer on.
Yeah, so because clear takes longer to cure, you're saying? Yeah.
For sure. And
Yeah.
yeah, I don't know. I don't necessarily see anything wrong with doing it that way. I personally feel doing it clear and then spraying it white is easier and honestly less variables because you don't have any activator, you don't have any hardener in base coat. So you're just putting
True.
urethane on.
That's a great point.
You put enough on it that it's just like it's hard to believe, but when you put a couple airbrushed coats on, you actually do build up enough film that when you soak it in water and it comes out, like you can it's got something to it. So you can get it on there and squeegee it and stuff, still be gentle. But I just think I think I've had a lot of success using that method, and hearing you do it that way sounds perilous. I don't know why. I just think the clear coat in and of itself, it makes it you're using clear coat for one, which is unbelievably expensive. You have to wait 24 hours to make sure you don't get any reactions or anything like that. And I think
Yeah.
just those two things alone
So like
sell the other method
I
to
had
me.
I bought a pack of this white paper off that Lime Time guy,
Limeline, yep.
Limelight guy, whatever.
Yep.
Because he used it in a video that he shows how to do it.
Right.
But the first time I did it, I wasn't using this kind of clear coat. I was using 2K clear. So way quicker cure times.
Yeah, right.
So it wasn't
Yeah.
a problem. But yeah, I got it on finally. I told you it was perfect. And then I had the chemical reaction, so I had to do it again, right? Because I sanded it off and I did it another time. This time I had a couple of wrinkles, but I said, I don't care if there's a chemical reaction. I don't care if it looks like shit. I don't care if there's wrinkles. I don't care if there's dinkles. This thing's getting clear coated in. I'm done painting this fucking thing. I started painting this fucking thing 3 weeks ago, you know?
Yeah, man.
Because the thing with paint, it's so time consuming, especially if you're not a pro. So like dudes that like you or Mike Machine or like, you know, guys that do it professionally, you know, Time Bomb Customs, you guys have the technique because you've gone I'm assuming you've gone through all these trials and tribulations and you're like, oh well, you develop your process to minimize the amount of fuckery that you have to go through. So I just all the fuckery. Dude, my garage is an absolute motherfucking mess, dude. Shop rags everywhere. I got this fucking plastic wrap draped everywhere. Spilled paint. Dude, white paint everywhere. All over the fucking ground. I just have containers filled with acetone, dissolved screwdrivers, like fucking crazy shit. It's been fucking really annoying, dude, because it's so time consuming through all the steps to do the different layers. Like every time you hit a layer, you do one layer of paint, you gotta wait for it to gas off, and you do another one, you gas off, and do another one, gas off, and then oh, now I'm moving to clear. I gotta clean all the fucking guns, fucking do this and that, or like oh, I'm moving over to the airbrush now and fucking clean that area up. So time consuming.
Yeah.
It's so fucking frustrating.
And
It
everything
doesn't grow
has to
your
be
paint.
so in order to do it like to a high level, everything has to be so fucking clean. And that's where like a paint booth makes an unbelievable difference. An unbelievable with downdraft, cross draft, like proper cross draft or whatever, a real paint booth is night and day.
An
You could
area to shoot paint, an area to do prep, an area like I'm just kind of I have like a fucking portable table for like a chop saw that I'm using for like my paint, you know, area, and then like and again, it's like it's getting all over the garage. Like this thing, it the white paint is on everything. You know, I just the bike was super clean. I'd polished everything, like everything was perfect. And then you spray a bunch of white paint or clear coat, and then you go over your bike, it has dusting all over everything, you know?
Yeah. Yep.
So you gotta clean that fucking shit off.
Yeah.
But yeah, I finally got it on and it had a couple of wrinkles, but I'm like, fuck it. I don't give a fuck. It has a couple of wrinkles in it.
Is
I'm
it
the only one
wrinkles?
that's gonna look at the goddamn thing.
Are they wrinkles in the image transfer, like the paper, or are they like wrinkles in the paint?
In the image transfer. And
Oh, all right.
they were so they're very minimal. They kind of look like cracks almost, you know?
Yeah.
Like there's one spot in particular that there's like it looks like the image cracked a little bit. So I was like, fuck it, it'll be a patina picture or something.
I was gonna say we can patina it.
Yeah, maybe I will. Um so yeah, I got that on and I feathered it in with the fucking airbrush and I started doing I wanted to put some flake. This is the other part that I fucked up.
Oh shit.
All right, so I did my frame. I painted my frame first, and I just did the 2K on that shit, the spray cans, because I had them. So I did flat. I did black, gloss black, and I had a gloss. And I was like, I'm gonna put some, because I did heavy modification on the frame, like cleaning up the frame. There's a lot of places that are like I didn't want to bonder the whole fucking thing, and flake hides a lot of that shit. You know,
Yeah.
it hides a lot of the little tiny imperfections or wavy bits. So I was like, I'm
Especially
gonna
on
hit it with
black.
a little bit of this fucking glitter bomb shit that I have.
Mm-hmm.
And I had some silver, and I got some silver for the tank. So I'm like, I'm gonna put that in. Whew. Looks mint. Here's where I fucked up. I had some copper flake, and I was like, I had just a little bit of copper flake, and I was like, I'm gonna hit it. I might as well use it. I got a little bit of it, and I hit it with it, and it changed it from like black to like brown.
Green. Yeah, it turns a
Yeah.
brown green.
So I
Yeah.
was like, oh, what the fuck, dude? But I'm like, well, I only got 2 cans of this stuff, so I can't like redo it. I can't. The black is gone now. I'm onto the clear coat. So I'm like, I'm just gonna run it. But then I was like, well, it's gonna look weird if I don't have this copper on the fucking tank now in the fender. So I went in with the copper flake and the silver flake, and I'm like, oh, well, now it all looks like shit. The whole fucking bike looks like a big brown turd now. That fucking copper flake, dude. So I wish I never did it. But I think it would look good patinaed.
Yeah.
It's ugly as fuck, dude. I hate it. I hate the paint. But I don't give a fuck, dude. I'm running it. I'm running it.
We'll fix it eventually.
Yeah. Eventually, maybe next year or something. I'm done painting though. That's the thing is
Yeah.
I'm just like, I don't give a fuck. There's some little imperfections I see. I don't give a fuck. It's getting clear coated. It's getting buried. I got this fucking gross ass shit flake in it. Never do copper flake. So gross, dude. They shouldn't even make it. And you know what? I did the same. I'm so stupid. I did it. I had that flake from my shovel head that I did, and I hated it.
Oh, no
I
shit.
fucking did it anyways.
Yeah.
I'm meddling. I'm doing too much.
Flake over black or white for me is tough. It always looks like my daughter spilled glitter on it kind of deal. I don't know why,
Yeah.
but it always looks that way to me. I feel like the flake has to match the base coat color, or what you do is silver base coat, then you put silver flakes on top, then you do a candy of whatever color you want it to be, and then it's that color. The more candy you put on, the darker the color gets, and then that color shines through. I think that's the more appropriate use for flake.
And maybe
Obviously,
I can do some candy on it or something to fix it. I mean, it looks like shit. I don't give a fuck. The flake does hide like some of the feathering and some of the imperfections because I had to fucking sand this thing down like 30 times. You know what I mean? Like, and so I tried to like get the flake in like around the image transfer is fucking hard, dude, to pull off, right? You know?
Yeah.
But so yeah, I did the flake. It's a little heavy in some areas. I tried to sand some of it out, but I didn't want to go too hard in the paint and get like have to fucking repaint the goddamn thing again.
Mm-hmm.
So it is what it is. I just been clearing it. So I did some clear, sanded it down. The flake is still exposed.
Yeah.
So today I just sanded the whole thing down. There's just like little bumps now where the flake was. And I'm going to do a few more coats of clear and hopefully just bury that flake so it's like flat. So I'm going to do another like heavy coat of clear, sand that, and then do the final clear. And then I'm fucking done.
So how many total wet coats have you put on top of that flake already?
Like each pass?
Yeah, like every time that you've painted it and walked away and come back and hit it again, that counts as a coat. How many coats have you done roughly?
Like at least 6, 7.
Stop putting clear coat on that bitch. Sand it flat. You have more than enough clear coat on that thing.
Really?
If
Well,
you've
that's
been
the thing I was going to ask you is because my clear is coming out really fucking really light.
open up
Like it's
the
not like
load.
smooth. Like, do I need to go heavier on the clear?
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay.
So when you're wetting it out, like the first pass when you do clear coat is the tack coat or the dust coat. That should look dusty. Like it should
Yeah.
look like
That's how
there's
like
just a
all of
bunch of
them
little
look.
droplets. Yeah. So that means you're spraying too light for sure. So
What PSI should I be spraying it with?
that isn't necessarily a PSI issue. That's a fluid issue. So your
Oh, just
main
back it out. Okay.
your main needle, the farther you back that out, the more paint you get. That's what control. Obviously, there's a little nozzle on the bottom that is your. Hold on, let me get a gun.
Yeah, it's been dialing that gun in, getting the right kind of flow rate. That has been a challenge.
Yeah, it's if you don't know what you're looking for per se, and that's the thing. You can watch as many YouTube videos as you want, and they can tell you 3 turns out and this PSI and this blah 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 with this gun will get you glass. And it's like, yeah, but you're not in my atmosphere. You're not in the same humidity. Like it's all personal. It all comes down to how you familiarize yourself with your gun. So on an HVLP gun, you have this nozzle down here. The further you turn that in, the less air you get. So this is your air control, right? Because your
I've been
air,
told that you just have that full out.
and don't ever touch it ever again. Yes,
Right.
always wide the fuck open as
Because
far
you have a
left.
regulator.
Right. You're putting a one of these inline mini desiccant filters, right? Those go right onto that, and then you have a regulator. Regulator? Am I saying that? Yeah, an air regulator to set your PSI, and then you have your coupling to go into your airline, right? This here, so this one is your fan. It varies depending on your gun, but it should say the fan is how wide your spray pattern is. So if you're trying to do like when I do a frame, sometimes you want to turn that in so that you're only really getting like a
Like a
a,
circle.
a circle. Basically, when you turn that thing all the way in and you turn your nozzle in so that you're only getting a small amount of paint. Because if you have this wide open and you turn that fan all the way in, it's going to be a fucking hose. So you got to adjust your nozzle accordingly to get the right amount of paint. But you can get in. This is a big airbrush at that point. You can get into fine little corners and shit. So getting that all figured out is tough. But when you're laying clear coat, like your first coat should be dusty. It should have kind of a matte appearance to it. And you shouldn't freak out about that. Your subsequent coats, when you're putting the clear coat on, when you're actually spraying it on, you want to try to find a reflection somehow. Because you're checking what you're looking for is your wet edge, right? Which is where your paint line ends based on your fan pattern. So that the next time that you go past, you know how much you're overlapping, right? So the way to do that, there is an angle somewhere in your garage. Orient yourself in such a way that, okay, now when I'm spraying, I can see the reflection. You want it to be wet, right? You don't want it to come out milky because then you're putting way too much on, but you want it to come out so that it is itself, it's glossy when you're done painting it. If you're doing your clear coat and each coat comes out like matte or gritty or dusty or whatever, you're not putting enough on.
Oh, okay. I forgot to mention this too. The first clear that I did, and this is retarded. So I told you I let everything dry in the gun,
Yep.
dried in the cup too. And I was like, oh, well, it's dry. And then I put the clear coat in and it mixed with the white paint in the cup, dude. It came out all milky. You said milky, and it made me remember that, oh, yeah, the first clear coat I did was like super milky.
Yep. Here's something that in the last year I've really come to grips with, I think. These solvents are all related, and you have to remember that they will reactivate each other. They will, I did the graphics on Billy's Flamingo tank all in one go, and then I put the clear coat on, and the stuff that ended up running, that ended up pulling, had been on there. That pearl and all that stuff had been on there for at least 2 or 3 days. It was dry. It will reactivate. If you put too much stuff on top, the solvents in top stuff that you just put on will fuck with the stuff below it. If not pull it and make it sag and run, it'll eat away at it, and that's when you start to get some wrinkles and shit. Like where you airbrushed around your image transfer, I'm willing to bet you probably didn't put a whole hell of a lot of paint on there, so that when you put the clear coat on top of it, because you airbrushed over clear coat, correct?
Mhm.
So you put just a teeny tiny bit of white paint on there and then added a fair amount, a normal amount of clear coat. And it was probably so little amount of paint that the solvents in the clear coat attacked that and peeled it because the white had
Oh,
already dried. So there's a good chance that that's what's going on. And you know what, man? We're all going through it. Shout out my buddy Derek Cronin up in Maine. He just sent me a picture. He's doing his bike right now. He's doing it with rattle cans, but he's going through the exact same shit. He did some base coat. It all looked great. He painted his frame. It all looked great. And then he sent me some pictures this morning. He did some clear coat. And he said as soon as it touched it, it fucking opened the shit right up. And just kind of looking at some of the pictures, I could tell he was laying it on pretty thick. So you got to be careful. You can't hit it. I don't know how else to say it. Like you have to have it
yeah,
right. There is a range where you're going to get a good result and you're not going to have to fist fight it the entire time.
yeah,
And good luck. Cause I mean, like I said, it's personal feel. It depends on how you spray. Some people, a lot of these people on YouTube, especially spray their guns wide open for like base coat and everything. I am not that brave, especially because I'm only painting motorcycle parts too. I guess maybe it's one thing if you're painting the entire side of a car,
mhm.
but I don't ever need to be wide open when I'm painting a
Dude, doing a whole
motorcycle bike.
car, that must be fucking nuts, dude.
I know I really want to, and I will eventually, but yeah.
That is, dude. I mean, it's fucking tough. And then the other thing is too, it's like patient man's game. Patient man's game. I'm not very patient, and like I didn't wait for the clear coat to dry 100%, and I took the tank down to do the feathering. I wanted to get that done because I was like, I got to get this done tonight so it'll be good to clear coat tomorrow.
Mm-hmm.
But the clear coat was like maybe in some areas a little bit tacky, but it was fine on the top, like where I was working on it. So I put it down, but I put it down on those blue shop towels,
Oh.
and it stuck to it. And then I had to sand that off. So there's like bare metal on the bottom that I clear coated over. There's a couple of little areas, but I gotta get it done. I gotta get it done because I want to start and fucking ride this bike. So I don't care if it's perfect, but I will be next bike I paint, if I ever paint another bike. I'm gonna allot myself 3 weeks because I'm gonna fuck it up again. I'm gonna forget a lot
No,
of this stuff and fuck it all up again.
I have betrayed you, letting you go through all of this suffering on your own. Next time you paint, I'll be up there with you.
I need a chaperone.
Yeah, well, because honestly, and it's I didn't think to mention cleaning the gun and stuff like that. You're absolutely correct. And it's not because I just assumed that you would know that or whatever. It's just I didn't think of it. You know what I mean? So being there in person, I'd be like, all right, we're not leaving yet. You got to run some acetone through that bitch real quick. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So, and yeah, some of those other things, like I could
The
have,
cleanliness thing is the biggest part, I think, is like
it's the most
having an
difficult part.
area where you clean your shit, it's
Yeah.
ready to go. You know how to break it down. Like the air gun, the airbrush, for example, right? Like the first time I cleaned it, I didn't know there was like a tiny little nozzle at the top that you have to take off. It's like so small you can't even fucking, but it comes with like a little wrench to take it off. I didn't take that off.
Yeah.
And that's a very vital component of that gun. You know what I mean?
Mhm.
So like you need to know your equipment, and it has to be fucking perfectly clean. You have to get everything out. Can't be any paint in it, especially if you only have two guns and you're switching between clear coat and primer and base coat. Like these things don't mix. You have to make sure that they're 100% clean.
For sure. Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
Airbrushes are super finicky. If you're not, I mean, even if you are going to go out and spend $400 or $500 on an airbrush, they're all finicky, and urethane based paints get
Tiny little
sticky and they get
passages, lots
clumpy.
of
And
moving parts.
yep, for
And that
sure.
one's been the biggest bitch. Like the gun that you recommended that I got, uh,
Mhm.
that one's great because it doesn't have any fucking O-rings in it.
No rubber.
That's really helpful because
Yeah.
the air gun has but like 30 of them, and at least two of them disintegrated by now, because I put it in and I didn't figure that it was going to get that fucked up.
Yeah, for sure. And
So,
there's all sorts of little plastic fucking
oh
bushings and
yeah.
shit and
So
airbrushes. Like you
half
can't.
half the time I got to say is like getting the airbrush to work right.
Yeah.
Getting
I
that thing to spray correctly, cuz if you don't have it perfect, it's going to spittle and there's
yeah.
going to be like, or it won't spray at all.
Yep.
Or, so you're constantly breaking it down, putting it back together, cleaning it out. What a pain in the ass, dude.
You have to get the
At least with
viscosity of
rattle
the
can,
paint.
all you got to do is shake that bitch and spray it.
Yeah. I know. There's definitely a place for rattle can, and I'm rattle canning a bunch of shit on the Panhead,
Yeah.
and I did some on the Evo. I'm certainly not above it. There's definitely a time and place, especially with some of the kits that we talked about like last week. You know what I mean? There's plenty of options out there for that shit. But yeah, man, it's heartbreaking, dude. I'm fucking all but redoing Billy's tank again. I fucking told you last week I had the airbrush explode on me, so it's something I struggle with all the time. Airbrush is one of my Achilles heels for sure, but I use them frequently, so it's tough. But
They're so helpful for
they're
little
wicked
spot
helpful
checks
for
and all
doing
that
shit.
shit.
Yeah, for doing shit like. So I had to redo the flamingo again because
Came
I
out
don't
so
even know.
nice this time though.
I was gonna say I don't know why I didn't do it this way to begin with, but so I had been doing a pink and rose gold pearl flamingo on it. If you'd seen it on Instagram, you know what I'm talking about. So I did the flamingo again, did it the same way, and then I had the fucking splatter issue, and then I tried to fix the splatters, and it came out like shit, and it ruined the flamingo and whatever. So I had to do that all over again. Sanded all that back down to primer, and then had to build the paint back up, and I got it all back to black. And then this time, if you've seen the original layout, I have the little bubbles in there that are color changing. They have color changing pearl in them. So I was getting ready to be honest, this is my thought process here, just to give you a little insight. This flamingo is fighting me every single time I do it because it's not a flat surface. I have to figure out a way to take some slack out of the flamingo itself in a part that makes sense, because the image just simply will not sit flat on it, right? So then you get issues with the tape lifting and shit gets weird, right? So what I had to do, I'm spraying this over black. So to get the pearl to look correct, I had to put white down, then do the pink, then do the rose gold. So when I'm doing these, I cut it out on a Cricut. When I'm doing three different chemicals or in three different layers of paint or whatever to get them all to be the right shade and their correct coverage, that's a lot of paint. So when you go to peel the fucking thing, it peels paint. It's just a motherfucker. I haven't gotten it right yet. So I was like, I got to figure out a way to do this without putting that much paint on there. And I saw the little baggie of that Kaimito pearl and was like, that would be slick. So I found a little more intricate flamingo, like a stencil or whatever on Cricut. I cut that out, had to fucking do that 3 fucking times. And then finally got it to stick on there good enough that I could spray it. And I sprayed it with that Kaimito pearl and it's fucking sick. It's so fucking cool. And then I taped out that outer border that I did to put the green pearl in. I did the green pearl. I swear to God, my fucking brain is fried. Did the green pearl, got it perfect coverage, right on. And without thinking, like immediately, I hung up the airbrush and immediately started pulling tape, just callously. Like usually I would spray it and then I'd go have a cigarette or whatever. I'd go do something for 5-10 minutes at least, let that shit dry off. And then you can pull it off. And even 5 to 10 minutes is a lot for airbrush paint. It really doesn't take that long. It was pretty warm out that day, but I just did it like immediately for whatever fucking reason. And I'm taping off another section, the side of the tank, so I can put the pearl in there. And then I finally look up and I fucking put fingerprints all over that green pearl that I just put on there like a fucking newbie. So I was like, you know what? Over it. I keep trying to do only one layer of clear coat. Like I really only want it to be only the final layer of clear coat. That's how pros do it. I'm trying to get to the point where I'm meticulous enough and I'm clean enough that I can do all of my layout over primer without any layers of clear in between. And It's fucking hard, dude. It's fucking hard. And it's not because I've had to deal with any reactions or anything. It's my own fucking stupidity and just, absent-mindedness. And so I stopped immediately, pulled all the tape off of it, hung it in the booth, and clear coated the fucking thing. And I'm gonna sand it all down and go back in and fix the pearl and fucking whatever else. So it's close, but dude, it's always fucking something. So we're all going
Yeah.
through it. I don't know, something in the water. The universe is telling us we're not meant to have our bikes ready in May.
It's so soul crushing. The paint thing, just because it takes so long and the effort that you put into it, and it's so delicate that when you fuck it up with your big gorilla hands, like a fucking Momo, you're like, oh, you have nobody to blame but yourself. You can't blame the manufacturer. You can't blame. You're like, that was my bad. I fucked it up.
Oh yeah,
That's what the most frustrating part is. I can't blame it on anybody else. Like, oh yeah, that fucking regulator was a piece of shit, or I'm never using an anti-gravity battery again.
Yeah,
You're
right.
like, no, I fucked it up.
Yeah.
I'm an idiot.
There's some new dents in the garage door for sure.
Yeah, dude. I'm not even like, I don't like rage, but like internally, like my blood was literally boiling. I was just like, dude, I wasted like 8 hours, you work on it all fucking day and then it's gone. And it's like, oh God. But fingers crossed, last clear coat tomorrow, bury those fucking little meaty bits. And then I get to do some fun motorcycle stuff again.
Hell yeah.
Yeah. I got to do the brakes. So do the brake bleeding, which sucks. Fill it with oil, and then do the timing. And make sure everything has Loctite on every bolt. Because
I know I still gotta do that too.
I thought I was doing that, but then I was like, the castle nut on the rear wheel today, I just like spun my hand and I was like, oh shit. So I got to go through and just make sure everything's fucking torqued down, Loctited down. Everything that needs a cotter pin has a cotter pin. I did some polishing today. I polished up the sissy bar. I polished up the air cleaner. So little shit like that. So I'm hoping tomorrow I get the paint done. I'm hoping to start it tomorrow. So if I do the fluids and I can't put the tank on obviously, but I have like one of those, it's a little thing you can hang on your fucking handlebar and it has it's basically a little petcock. You fill it with gasoline. So plug that into the carb and see if it'll start. And if it starts, then I'm just waiting for paint to dry and then bolt it on and go. I got the leather washers right now, marinating in some mink oil.
That's fancy. I like that.
Dude, if you get those leather washers destroy paint worse than I think metal does.
Yeah.
Yeah, you put them down. And you know how like the top layer is nice and smooth, and then the bottom layer is all fucking
It's hard and
fucked.
shit. Yeah.
And you put it on your paint and you torque everything down, it just fucks it up.
Yeah.
And those things fail all the time. I remember we were riding one time and my tank was vibrating like a motherfucker.
Right.
But it was a weird sound, so we didn't know it was the tank at first.
Mm-hmm.
But one of those leather washers had dried out and split.
That's right.
So there's like a quarter inch or an eighth of an inch or whatever, and the tank was just like vibrating. So I found that if you condition them in mink oil, they hold up, they soften up and they stay soft longer. That's the thing. They'll eventually dry out, but
that's a hot tip.
And there's no in the mink oil too. There's no petroleum or anything that eats away at the paint.
Good point.
And I already got it from my boots, so.
Good shit, dude. I like that. Yeah, I got to oil my boots too. That's a good point. I might do that as well.
Yeah. So I'm hoping if everything plays out like it should, I'm hoping to have it started tomorrow. So it's Wednesday today. Thursday, I want to start it. And then Friday, I want to put the tank and the fender on. And I should be riding it on Friday. I'm hoping.
Yeah. Well, it's supposed to be rainy and shitty Friday and Saturday, but
I don't give a fuck. I'm taking it out.
I was gonna say if I get mine running and shit, I'm gonna be taking it out too.
Oh yeah.
Even if it's just around the fucking neighborhood or up and down.
I'm gonna fuck if my road's flooded, dude. I'm taking it out.
Yeah, 100%. Yep.
rust up
Yes,
all those
sir.
bolts I cleaned.
Dude, I've made the executive decision. I'm not going to touch them. I'm just going to ignore them.
Yeah.
Don't point them out to me. If you see me in public, don't point them out to me. Keep
Yeah,
it to yourself.
don't point out rusty bolts.
Yeah. Point out something else. Point out the shitty paint
I
job.
kind of want some rusty bolts so it'll match my shitty copper paint job. I actually need them to rust.
What if you just used? I mean, you're too far at this point, but
No, dude, I ruined
you.
it. I ruined the paint job, bro.
God damn.
I don't give a fuck though, because it's I don't really. My thing is like I'm not putting in any shows. You know what I mean? Like I don't give a fuck if people like my bike. I want to ride the fucking thing, and
Right.
I want to start building a new bike. You know, lessons
Yeah.
learned. I'm throwing that can of copper fucking flake out too.
I tell you what, if you put that copper flake over gold base, you'd love it.
It looks so different over different colors. Like, because I put it on the black and it looks a certain way, and then I put it on the white and it looks completely different. I'm like, now it doesn't even match. I shouldn't have done that.
For sure. I mean, I'm certainly not up on color theory. I do have shout out Mikey Machine. He put me onto these, and I'm really struggling to figure out how it works. But it's called Palette Scout. But understanding a little bit about the color wheel and shit is really going to help you with that, because like for a long time I was just kind of throwing shit like I think this is going to work, being colorblind. And if you go back and look at my catalog or whatever of paint jobs, the majority of my paint jobs are red, black, and gold, right? I stick this shit that I know works. But this has helped a lot. It's basically it's a game. It's like a card game type deal, but it's all different colors, and
Oh,
they're
that's
all in
cool.
different palettes and stuff, and there's some instructions, and it gives you some ideas, and it just helps you form color palettes, right? And then if if you're making your own colors at home, you have a chit. You can match your paint to this color. It's got different
That's
values on
fucking
the
cool,
side.
dude.
It's pretty rad. It's really, really cool. So that's more or less how I.
You said that's a game?
It's supposed to be a game. I don't
Yeah.
truthfully. I don't. It's learn about color in a fun, intuitive way and combine 180 colors into unique palettes. So it's basically its intention is to teach you the color wheel and to teach you, it gives you the definition of tint and hue and all that other stuff.
Yeah.
But having some idea of that is really helpful when you're coming up with a palette. The gold over black thing, perfect example. And I have another one. I first learned about the gold over black when I first started. I did Astro Man's paint job, and on his frame he wanted black, but I had been kind of fucking with this. Um, it's called Smoky Tooth Pearl from Paint Huffer, and it's gold, and it's beautiful. It's the best on the market for gold pearl, period. And I was obsessed with the shit, and I was putting it in everything. And I put it over black once on like a rolling tray or something, and I thought it looked kind of cool. And then I put it on a frame, and then I put it in ultraviolet light, and it turned the fucking frame green, and I about shit myself. It's so strange. You put gold pearl, gold flake on black, it turns like a greenish, almost like a shitty brown sort of.
Turns into shit brown. Yeah.
Yeah, it's
You're
really
flying down the
strange.
highway on a polished turd.
Yeah, like shiny. Yeah, like you just ate a bottle of glitter and shit it out on the paint. And then another one too, a big one is candies, because they're transparent. If you're doing like, say you're doing your paint scheme is blue and yellow and white, whatever. Anywhere you're blue and yellow, if you're using Candy Touch, if they overlap even a little bit, that's green now, and you're gonna see it. You don't see it. Like, it's very fucking obvious. It's really difficult. And on that sissy bar that I did for the motorcycle art extravaganza, I did a lot of candy and shit on that, and I did blue and yellow next to each other because I wanted to see if I could do it and it not turn green. And as far as I can tell, there's no green on that bitch, but it's a lot of work. So you got to understand, like, the shit that you're putting on top of each other. If I put that pink pearl that I was talking about earlier that I was using for the flamingo, when I put that over black, it's blue. It's a pink to blue flop pearl, right? But when you put it over black, the pink goes away. It just turns to like this light baby blue, really nice color, but not what I was going for. Blue is not in the color palette. We're doing pink, dark pink, basically, rose gold, and green. That's our color palette over black.
Yep.
So blue would have fucked that all up. And I did the pearl the first time I did it over black and it didn't work. So I had to redo it. That was the first time I had to redo the flamingo. So you got to understand what the paint you're putting on looks like over different colors. If you put it over gray primer, black primer, white primer, it's going to look different.
I'm going to say this too is everybody should do this.
Yeah.
Don't tap out. Don't be like, oh, Rhino said it's a fucking nightmare. That's our hobby, bro. Our hobby's a goddamn nightmare. It's strife and failure over and over and over. That's why we do this. You suck at paint? Fuck you, pay me. Oh, you don't know how to do a top end? Fuck you, pay me. It's time to pay, bro. You should do every part of a motorcycle. You should do fucking upholstery. Try it out. Mm-hmm. You're going to suck at it. You're going to suck at paint. You're going to suck at hardtailing. You're going to suck at welding. But you know what you do? You persevere. Eventually, you get good at that shit. Or you befriend someone who's a professional painter. And you don't have to do that shit no more.
Yeah.
I'm just kidding. I'm going to try. I tried. Dude, 3 weeks. I didn't tap out. I didn't go, Dad, can you paint my bike for me? No, nope. I fucking painted it, and it sucks.
Yep.
But you know what? I fucking did it.
You sure did, man.
Yeah.
I'm sure.
And all you guys should do it too.
I'm sure it's not as bad as you're making out to seem, but I am honestly, I'm disheartened to hear that you don't like your own paint job. That bums me out. I feel like I've failed you.
Yeah, but you know what? It'll all be worth it. No, you did not fail me. Here's the thing is painting, the reason why people don't do it is because you need this much knowledge. You know, it's like if you're doing like a crank up engine rebuild, you can't just be dipping your toes in that shit, dude.
Yeah, right.
You need a lot of knowledge to do all of that, right? And I haven't done that personally, right? I will someday though, you know? Like it's something I aspire to be able to do is take a fucking piece of shit, milk crates full of parts, and be able to build something beautiful over a long period of time. You know, that's the goal. And you just have to keep on failing and doing it wrong, you know? And shout out to everybody, you know, by the way, you guys know we're not the fucking experts, right? If you guys don't know that by now, right? We're garage builders, okay?
Yeah.
But shout out to everybody that reaches out to us because maybe we do know this or that and we can help you out. Maybe we don't know what an MSO is. Maybe we don't understand that fucking paperwork and shit.
I said
what we do have is stick-to-itiveness. And that's the thing. That's the key, babe. You want to build bikes? Try it out. Don't be afraid to fail. Dude, I've been doing this shit for fucking 10 years. I suck at it, but I love it. And I keep on doing it because I do get incrementally better every time I build a bike. It's not a coolness contest. You know what I mean? If you're in it for that, get out of it.
Yeah, fuck off.
Do something else, you know? Just do it for the love of doing it. And it's okay to be a fucking retard that fails all the time, you know?
Yeah.
Because at the end of the day, if you stick with it, you will be riding that piece of shit down the road. And you will be proud of yourself.
There's nothing like it. There genuinely is nothing like it. I built the Gypsy Witch, and it wasn't a hardtail. And I rode around doing the whole, it's not a chopper, it's not a chopper. And then I did a hardtail and was like, fuck. This is different. Like when you've built your own hardtail and the whole fucking nine and you do it the whole deal, especially if you do it all yourself or like with minimal help, you know, or with your homies or whatever, community build's cool as fuck. I love that. There's just nothing like it, man. There's really nothing like it. Seeing it fucking run and shift through all the fucking gears.
There is nothing like it. Like you're saying there's nothing like it. I'm trying to think right now about anything that compares to it. It's its own thing.
For sure. It's not
when it's going
better,
like under its own power and you did it and you're like, its life is in your hands, you know? You have nobody to blame but yourself, and then you finally fucking did it and it actually makes cool sounds and goes vroom and you can go fast and you're like, oh, maybe I'll push this a little bit, you know, on those shakedown runs and you're like, no bolts have fallen out yet, and you push it a little bit harder and a little bit harder. dude, by the midsummer, you're like, you can take on the world.
Mm-hmm.
You're lane splitting, fucking passing people on the fuck on the shoulder on the right hand side of the road and shit. You're unstoppable, babe. But
Yeah.
there is nothing else like it, and I want everybody to have that feeling. So just keep with it, and don't be afraid to ask questions and shit. Like I said, we don't know everything there is to know, but I might know more than you about certain things. You know, maybe some mistakes I can help you out.
Or we can point you in the direction of someone who does. I can
Yeah.
damn near guarantee it.
Yes. Yeah. If you have a triumph question, I'll be pointing you to Fish. If you
Or
have a
truth
excess
or
question, I'll
fucking
be pointing you to Dustin.
yeah. There we got a guy for that. So
Yeah. Sportsters, though. We know our sportsters. We know our Evos.
mm-hmm. Yep.
So, dude, we were supposed to talk about our playlist, but I think that's
I
gonna
know.
have to be another week.
I literally have had my phone with your playlist pulled up this entire
Yeah.
time.
Dude, we just
We will definitely
Chatty
discuss that.
Cathy's.
Yeah, real quick, thank you to everybody who has dug into the playlist. It's super fucking cool to hear feedback on that. If you haven't checked it out, maybe we can throw the links in the description or whatever.
Yeah.
We'll put the names of the playlist themselves out there or something.
We'll do that next
Give it a
week because
listen.
I've been wanting to talk about it a lot. So
For sure.
next week maybe we'll do the playlist thing, a whole episode dedicated to music, and then we're gonna be putting out some more music because people really liked the music part.
Yeah,
So
for sure. Yep. I've got some stuff in the works, so I appreciate all the feedback. I appreciate everybody sending me ideas and shit of new music to check out.
Yeah.
So it's super cool. Let's keep that going. I fucking love it.
Yeah, dude. I didn't know we had so many music lovers. These motherfuckers love dude, like I think that's the most anybody's. I mean, like when we put that out that we had those fucking like so much feedback
Yeah.
on the
Yeah.
music.
And you know what, dude? Like, if I really think about it, I got here from music. I got here from punk and hardcore. You know what I mean? I can't necessarily pinpoint like a moment in time where those two things collided for me. And I knew that, but I mean, realistically, it was the people that I was hanging out with. They were into hardcore and shit, and we were going to hardcore shows all the time. And these dudes grew up riding motocross full time and had Harleys. So it was like, that's next. And then I saw a fucking knucklehead on Instagram and was like, boom. And straight up, if you go to my original Instagram account, I think it's like 2012 or something, there's a picture that I screenshotted of a white knucklehead. And on the caption, it just says someday. So that's I got here through music, you know what I mean? And a lot of people, Truth has talked about that a bunch, you know,
Yep.
like a lot of people.
I forgot
end up
about your
here
other
through music.
Instagram account. You've been no luck for so long.
Yeah, LFOD 603. I haven't.
Live for
fucked with that in a
die.
long time.
I love that, dude.
Mm-hmm.
New Hampshire pride, bruh.
It was my band name.
Oh, was it?
Yeah, so I was in I was in a band called Live for Your Die. If you want to check that out, we're on Bandcamp. And then I was in a band called Drink Fight Kill, and that is on Spotify if you want to torture yourself with that. But yeah, so I was in Live for Your
to do.
Yeah. So I was in Live for Your Die, and yeah, that's where the LFOD.
It's a prerequisite. If you live in New Hampshire, you have to get a Live for Your Die tattoo somewhere.
I still don't have mine, but
You don't have one?
I don't have one yet, but I am going to. Yeah, yeah. Actually, I believe I'm probably just gonna get the design that I drew up for our band, like our band logo or whatever. It's just a silhouette of New Hampshire with a rose in it. So I think I'll probably end up getting that with, you know, Live for Your Die written somewhere. But yeah, dude, straight up, like all my closest homies have Live for Your Die somewhere. Some of them have them like right across the chest. Like it's.
Yeah, I wish I didn't already have it done. I'd get it on my forehead, dude.
Yeah, we take that shit serious. Still can't buy weed though. Fucking gay.
Fucking gay, but maybe no state inspection soon.
Oh God, I fucking hope so.
Then you can ride with shitty choppers and I won't get pulled over anymore.
I know. Like I've said before, it's a double-edged sword. I feel terrible because a lot of my homies make their bread on inspections and shit. You know what I mean? Obviously, that's going to have a big impact, and that's awful.
Fuck your homies. You need new homies, dude. Fuck them. Fucking scammers, dude. Oh, you got a little cosmetic rust that's going to cost you fucking $1,600.
Yeah, but we're talking about the little oil lube inspection places. You know what I mean? That's gonna put a serious hit on some of these spots. I'm not talking about the minor.
Learn the code, bitch.
Yeah,
I'm just kidding.
But at the same time, yeah,
As
80%
someone
of
that
me
gets
is
pulled
psycho.
over and has to go to court 3 times a year for fucking inspection stickers, I'm fucking pretty excited about it.
Yeah, for someone who all of their vehicles except for their service vehicle from work are illegal, that sounds pretty sick.
Yeah, none of my vehicles are inspected currently, and they were all supposed to be done by February.
Oh
So
shit.
next time I get pulled over, which will be soon, I'm just gonna be like, I thought we got rid of that gay shit.
Yeah. I saw on Instagram that we don't have that anymore.
Yeah, and ignorance of the law is no excuse. All right, next week we're gonna talk about music, maybe. Let's shut this bitch down, Dano.
Yes, sir. Enjoy
Until
your
next
weekend.
week, low lives. Get in the garage. Get in trouble. Have fun. Never stop chopping.
You're
Deadbeat Customs. Steve over at Deadbeat Customs is about grassroots motorcycle riders who take it upon themselves to build and customize their bike. They offer parts for all Harley-Davidson models and also custom parts for choppers, bobbers, trackers, and cafe racers. When it comes to building a custom motorcycle, they carry the best brands available. Go visit their brick and mortar store in Tewksbury, Mass, or at deadbeatcustoms.com. Remember, enter Lowlife at checkout and save some loot. Stay strong, Co. Sean Luke has been sent down from the heavens to bless us lowlifes with the greatest motherfucking hot sauce in the world. Sweet heat baby Jesus in the white pants heralds a message from God himself. This hot sauce is for your food. Keep it off your butthole. The shits in the hotter than hellfire lowlife chopper sauce. Go to staystrongco.org today and grab yourself the holy trinity of hot sauces. Oxford Code Choppers. Chris is the original bad boy from Oxford, Connecticut. From frame restoration and repair to handlebars and hardtails. Hard parts for hard men. His hardtails are expertly TIG welded and installed in-house. Made of USA-made steel, cast axle plates, he is your man for the hardest shit to hit the East Coast since Hurricane Bob. Find him on Instagram at oxfordco.choppers. Steel City Blacksmithing. Josh specializes in handcrafted steel work right outside of Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania. Anything from custom motorcycle parts to hammers and tomahawks. Don't get it twisted. If it can be twisted, he's twisting it. Check him out at steelcityblacksmithing.com today. Beck Built Fab. Dustin is the plug for excess chopper parts. That's why we call him the Metric Man. Drum disc brakes, mid controls, hand shifters, foot clutch, modded worm gears, intakes, and more. He can do any fabrication job, weld repair, upholstery, or even maintenance. Check him out at beckbuiltfab.com.